Okay, so welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am here today with my friend. I guess people like the first conversation, so we're gonna have another conversation about a lot of messiness. So I will quickly let him reintroduce himself, in case y'all don't know who's it. Wait, hold up. Did I even say my name? My name is Doreen. My name is Doreen, and I'll let my friend introduce himself.
My name is Abe.
Ting. Okay, so we have a lot on the agenda that we need to get through. Um, First up on the list, have you heard of passport bros? And do I need to get into what passport bros are?
I have heard of the Passport Bros on Twitter during the whole thing with Brazil. Basically Brazilian feminists were on this one man, Austin Holland.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it is about this person, Austin, this Black man who is going to this place, but there seems to be like, passport bros has become like this movement of Black men that are going to different countries to sleep with and marry women, in places like Brazil, uh, notably non-African places. So I guess I, I'm kind of at a loss of words. I'm sorry. Why are men going to other countries to sleep with and marry women outside of the community that exists here?
There's no mothers in the home. That's that's what that boils down to. There's no mothers in the home. There's
Mhm.
no praying, good, honest mothers in the home. And a lot of these men are developmentally delayed in
Mhm.
some sense or the other, you
Mhm.
know.
And I also think like in choosing non-Black women, you're not just it's anti-Black. It's like it's no way, there's no other way for me to put it. It's just anti-Black, like choosing women outside of this community. And are things this difficult that we can't be in relationship with one another?
I think a lot of these men feel that way. They feel like they have internalized anti-blackness
Mm.
against black women because maybe they resent their mothers and they also have some misogyny. And then there's also this culture of black inceldom, black fascism
Mm.
that is on the rise,
Mm.
um, that is perpetuating harmful stereotypes and negative stereotypes about black women to black men, and then the fetishization of white men seeping into the black community for black men. And also some women, are not going to take some of the stuff that these men are trying to do to them. These men know that these women are in poor, impoverished countries affected by imperialism and colonialism, and they're using their money, their privilege, and their power to take advantage. But little do they know they're getting played too.
Well, and for me, it's more than just like the passport bros. Like there are just many personas and manifestations of these identities that have always existed in Black communities, in real life, but now we're seeing it online. So we saw it with Kevin Samuels.
Um,
We saw it with the passport bros. I see it with the girl boss feminism or the Black girl luxury kind of groups, the manosphere, hotaps, these poverty pimps,
Andrew
and,
Tate,
and even these like podcasters, like
the dumb girl with the big titties that don't say nothing but something very anti-women, and Quad Dietrich, because or whomever is, yeah, bro, women aren't real, women are humans. It's too much. Yeah.
mhm. And then I'm like thinking to myself, like, okay, if these ideas already existed, I feel like we're being inundated with these things on the internet daily. And is this actually like manifesting into a gender war, I guess, for a lack of a better term?
Yeah, it's something that's definitely being planted in in our communities or being more expanded through the
Mm.
internet.
I think I'm always like, I'm like, okay, so like, how long are we gonna do this with each other? Are we gonna get on the internet every day and act like we don't need each other, that we don't need to be in community with each other? And then I think like, okay, post gender wars, um, I don't know, how do we heal from this? How do we come back from this?
Pretty much re-educating people, uh, letting people read more feminist works, undoing misogyny, um, openly shaming these men, naming these men, ignoring these men, not giving them platforms, not sharing what they do, keeping your sons, monitoring your sons, what they watch, what they're taking in, um, and just being aware and being on watch at all times because you're being indoctrinated whether you know it or not.
And I also think it's not just for sons, but for girls too, and for
Mhm.
really all people. Like we all have some role to play in dismantling patriarchy. And sometimes, like even though men benefit from patriarchy,
Indeed.
um, women uphold it, right? So I don't know what this looks like. A dismantling patriarchy. Does the end of gender wars mean that we've abolished gender? Like what does it actually look like? How do
I,
we get past this point? These are two big questions.
these, yeah, I say no, gender will not go away. People will still identify as male or female or non-binary.
Mhm.
Um, but I think there will be more awareness. As long as we live in this system, there's going to be some type of problem.
Yeah. Speaking of problems, I wanted us to talk about the nursing fraud scam, where at the beginning of the year, um, there was this like scam that had been uncovered where people in administration of certain nursing schools, and like other people as well, it was a whole group of people, worked to thousands of folks had bought these fake nursing diplomas, bypassing the state educational requirements and testing. Um, I'm going to link a New York Times article in the box, in the description box. But I have different thoughts about this. So I'm kind of feeling like, should we keep those educational requirements and that's those state testing requirements? Or, eventually do these things need to be removed? Do we keep the system as it is now, essentially?
Well, at one point, you didn't really need a degree to be a nurse. There were a lot of Black nurses I know up north in New York and during the Great Migration who are LPNs and RNs, and then women who became nurses during the World War I and World War II,
Mhm.
that did not have degrees, but they were nurses. They went to nursing school. They had nursing schools, you know what I'm saying, to teach women how to be nurses. And women, especially Black women, graduated from these nursing schools, right? There were Black midwives, all of these things, right? But then they started cracking down and putting these requirements to limit Black women and to basically, you know, stop the growth of Black people in the health industry because there's racist white people who don't want no Black nurse. And then with desegregation and all of that stuff.
Mm.
So I say they should be removed, but no, I say if a person wants to go to college and they want to get their degree in nursing, that's commendable. They should be able to become a nurse. But if a person doesn't want to and they want to go to a nursing school and become an LPN or RN just by taking courses at a nursing school, which has no GPA requirements, you just have to be able and you have to be vetted and background checked. You know what I'm saying? with a legit board of nurses and doctors that approve you, you know what I'm saying? You can be a registered nurse in your state and work in a hospital. And then that way we get more income in the Black communities because I know, especially single Black mothers, will do this because it's a hospital job, it's more income, and they have more benefits for them and their children. That's
Mm,
what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about how Black people, especially poor, impoverished Black people, can benefit from this.
mm,
If they remove this, especially since the medical system is going down the drain, you know.
mm. I think like, I don't know, like I'm thinking like, do we abolish the healthcare system? Because there's so many barriers in place for people to learn about how to heal themselves, especially from like these Western forms of medicine. And with the shortages that we're seeing in the healthcare system, is community prepared to turn inwards? And like, do we have what we need in terms of like resources and information to heal one another? And not just in healthcare, but I think in education, in the public education system, where we're seeing teachers leaving. Like, we're talking about massive shortages across these industries. So, what do we need to do as a community to turn inward and control the things that we can control? And are we even prepared to build those kinds of systems?
No, we're not prepared. Because we don't have community. We're so
Mm,
disconnected from each other.
mm,
That's what generations before of older Black people had. They had community. I do research on Rosenwald schools, which were schools that were built in the South for poor and impoverished Black people by Julius Rosenwald and Booker T. Washington. And HBCUs used to have Rosenwald training schools where Black professors were teaching Black prospective teachers how to teach Black children. You
mm,
know what I'm saying? And so these teachers understood the oppressions and the issues that these students face and expected more out of them. And then these schools became a center of the community where the church was involved. It was on church grounds sometimes, and the teachers were involved in the church and the school. There were strong parent teacher associations, but these parents are so pressured with the systems of not being able to eat, not being able to, have enough money for rent, you know, then I have to buy clothes for my babies. Then I got to make time for myself. They don't have time anymore to really invest in their education. And I don't want to take away anything because our ancestors had a lot more and a lot less than we have now, and they made so much because I feel like sometimes we make too much excuses. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
But teachers now and the Black community now has to start investing in the schools in their community. If the county and the state is not going to want to do what they have to do, we need to start pulling together our resources and start supporting our teachers, building up our schools, irregardless, because our children's education is the most important thing.
mm. And it's currently on the line. Well,
Mm-hmm.
let's be clear. There have always been disparities in the public education system, but things were exasperated. Is that how you say that? Exasperated.
Yes,
Exasperated
yes, yes, ma'am.
because of the pandemic. And
Mm-hmm.
now, like being a teacher at a university, when the kids come to me, I can't even get to how to write an essay because I'm having to talk with the students about how to write a sentence, how to do simple and complex sentences, how to use commas and periods to capitalize the beginning of your sentence. We're talking about like basic things. And I get so frustrated because I'm like trying to figure out who is accountable here.
Everyone, the parents,
Mm,
the teachers, the school district. They just pass them on because they don't want to see them big old boys with these little kids. But they don't know nothing. Then they don't know anything. They know how to play Switch, Nintendo, eat hot chips,
and lie
and lie
and be bisexual.
and be bisexual. Yeah. That's what the Republicans think. Yeah.
Hmm.
But um the parents have to start stepping up and taking charge. Black parents need to go to these school boards, to go to these school meetings and wreak havoc,
Mm,
make the time, you know?
mm. I hope one day we eventually get into this because I have so many thoughts about
Yes.
education.
Oh my God, yes.
Um, and the final topic for today, um, I was on YouTube and there's a video by Julesy, which I will link in the description box. And she was talking about this particular topic, should Black women prepare themselves to be single mothers? And this was based on a Twitter thread that she had seen. I'm just going to read one of the tweets, the first tweet from the Twitter thread, which I will link in the description, which just says, I was just telling my cousin that as women, we should only become moms if we reconcile that we may have to be the sole parent and are okay with it. You can cross all the T's and dot all the I's with choosing a man, but he shouldn't be considered into your decision to be a mom. I'm kind of like, I feel very conflicted because I could go either way with this. Like, okay, you know what? I understand what this person is saying in this tweet. Like, prepare always for anything. But then I also feel like, but we should be rejecting that. We should be rejecting, accepting that we have to do things on our own. We need each other and we need to be in community with people. And then the other conservative part of me is thinking, what is happening in terms of family planning?
Thank you.
Like, okay, if you didn't have time for family planning because this wasn't expected in the, God willing, 9 months leading up to baby getting here, are you going ahead and thinking like, who can I rely on? Where's my support system? Like, we women should not be doing it on their own. They shouldn't be raising kids on their own. And yes, it's a reality, but that doesn't mean that we have to accept it, the reality. I mean, like, I don't know. I just feel really conflicted about it. What do you think?
Uh I think if you cannot feed it, don't breed it. If you know that you are not capable, if you know you are not in the right state of mind or space to bring a child into the world or to procreate,
Mm,
or the person you know is not able or is not capable of taking care of a child because of the way they treat you and they treat other people around them,
mhm,
then you should think twice, like Celine Dion, about having sexual relations and having a child. Now, we're not shaming anyone. You know, I'm very sex positive. Your body, your choice. You do what you want to do with your body. However, sex has results. When you lay down with someone and you have a vagina, or you're a person with a vagina, and they're a person with a penis, you know their sperm can meet your egg if you don't use condoms and you don't use contraception. Now, there are issues. It doesn't work if you're over a certain weight. Not all condoms are reliable. You know what I'm
and
saying?
Roe v. Wade had recently been overturned and left up
Absolutely.
to state decisions. So
That's
now
right.
it's becoming even harder to.
To get a proper um elimination. You know what I'm saying? So you have all of these things in your mind,
Mhm,
right? And you say in your mind, well, forget it. I'm sorry. Well, forget it. I'm just gonna let them have their way with me. Oh my God, my cycle is late. Oh baby, um, I know we not together. I know you don't do nothing for me. I know you don't buy me nothing. I know you don't look out for me. But I think I'm possibly with child. What can you do for me? And this person don't have a job. Person in a relationship with somebody else. No, I'm just going to tell the truth. Let's just
In a
tell the truth.
relationship with somebody else.
Yes, they're in a relationship with somebody else, and then they don't really care about you. You're just something for them to do to release off in and let all types of chemicals in your body, all kind of hot Cheetos and 40s all up in you. And you think that they are going to be able to help you? They don't even love themselves.
Mm.
We got to start loving, and I'm not blaming nobody, I'm not but yes, it's a systemic problem that tries to, rule over people's ovaries. You know what I'm saying? And there's not enough resources for women, you know what I'm saying, or research because we live in a misogynist society. This we know. But on the other side of that, it's you. You got to look at the man in the mirror and say, you know what? There's a number of black men that don't want responsibility. They're misogynist. They only use women. So guess what? I'm gonna get me a toy. I'm gonna hold out so I don't get pregnant. You know what I'm saying? So that way I don't have them six. And if I do, it's with somebody who's willing to take care of that child. We have this conversation beforehand. If there's a mistake, if something goes wrong, and I'm not able to get an abortion, are you able to take care of a child? How much do you make a year? It it's it's a two-way street. And you men, you know you're dirty. You know you're dogs. So, some of you is no hope for you. But but some of you women who are smart, capable, strong, independent, resilient women settling for less. Oh my God. Come on now. Like, ain't enough love in the world. And he don't even love you.
Mm,
And you don't even love him. You just
mm,
love how he makes your cuckoo feel.
mm.
I'm sorry.
I'm kind of like, mm, yeah. I just go back to my original idea, which is like what this person said in this particular tweet. Yes, it's true. It happens. Like, and in all situations, we need to prepare individually, collectively for the worst and have those plans in place. But then I also feel, but shouldn't we be rejecting this altogether and accepting something better? Like
Yeah. You
you
gotta
cannot do this on your own.
you
Period.
gotta want better. You have to want it. You can't sit up there on Twitter, which is a think tank of a bunch of echo opinions, and say whatever you. And this is why I don't like Twitter. But I'm new to Twitter, but I don't like it. You want to know why? Because people just get on there and they just say whatever they want to say, and then we got to discuss idiotic stuff that they say on here. That is what I cannot stand. It's an honest critique. If you're a black woman, you do have to think about being single. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, who says that you are going to be single? There's some good men out there that will take care of you and the kid, even though it's not theirs, and give you other kids. But you don't want him because he's a plumber. You don't want him because he's a janitor, but he's a good man. Now, don't think that I'm saying that you have to settle for less, but you got to date where you at.
Period. Period. Period.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody can't get a basketball player or a football player. You know what I'm saying? You got to find love where you at. Grace Lee Boggs, PhD. She married James Boggs, an auto worker, and they loved each other to death. Come on now. these people got their priorities messed up. I'm telling you, our generation is lost.
No, everybody wants to be Jay-Z and Beyonce
And you can't be them. I'm
and Jada
sorry.
and Will,
And they will never be that. They
and
will
entanglement and
never.
all. Like,
They will never be that. They will never be that.
mm,
They are billionaires. These, come on now. I mean, come on. I'm telling you, these people got their priorities in the wrong place. And that's the problem with Black people now. We got our priorities messed up.
mm.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
And with that, I think that concludes the end. Date where you at. um, yeah, definitely. I'm gonna put everything in the description box. Please subscribe, like. I should have said that at the beginning of the video. Please subscribe, like, and share this video with your friends. And let us know what you think in the comments
And
of
if
this
you and if
video.
anybody want to come after me for what I said, I don't care. I already don't care
Oh,
because I know
not
what I'm
standing
saying is
ten,
right.
this standing 10 toes down.
No, I am. I'm gonna have to. It's time to stand up. It's time to stand up.
And with that, how do the French say it? Arrivederci.
Au revoir.
Au revoir. Wait, what did I just say? Who knows?
Bye bye in Italian, right? I don't even know. We probably just said F you in Italian or something.
Um, but anyway, I guess we'll see y'all next time. So bye.